Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about got scammed during my grandmother's funeral. Customer says Uber Eats still charged her $87 for canceled order. So as we all know, with Doordash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, there are a significant number of scammers on the platform as customers, and because of that, good customers end up on the receiving end of said scams. And this time it couldn't be worse because this was during a grandmother's funeral. So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for gig workers and customers across all platforms, DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. Uber Eats is supposed to be an easy alternative to making dinner simple in exchange for a convenience fee. But one customer warns that isn't always the case. You see, that's a good way to summarize what DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub is that it's an easy alternative to make dinner simple, or really any meal simple, in exchange for a convenience fee. You're paying for the convenience. You're paying for a luxury service. And because of that, people don't get that. People think, oh, it's so expensive. It's because it's convenience, because it's a luxury. No crap, it's expensive. And they think that's a justifiable reason to not tip their driver. But that may not be the case here. Let's just see what is being said. Tanya at Tanyabeautycoach says the night of her grandmother's funeral, her family decided to order dinner from Uber Eats. After placing the order, Tanya says she canceled it within 1 minute after realizing she forgot to add a meal. When she submitted the revised order, Tanya says she called the restaurant and confirmed that everything was okay, but Uber Eats disagreed. I'm gonna leave our TikTok as well as her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. Okay, so this didn't take the turn I thought it was gonna take from the title, but you know what? I'm actually intrigued because I've never had a problem doing it within seconds of the order being placed, but within a minute, I feel like Uber Eats would red flag that. I feel like Uber Eats may or may not have charged you anyway, depending on what your market is like, but at the same time, if you were only missing one meal, wouldn't it have made more sense to just add that meal as a separate order and not risk the order going through a second time? Like, what's going on? About 5 minutes later, I get a message from Uber saying they charged me $87. Tanya says in her video, which has received over 23,000 views as of Monday, I just got massively scammed by Uber. The things you do for content, huh? In her attempt to secure a refund, Tanya says she spoke to 3 agents that wouldn't give her money back or Uber Eats credit for her first order. Yeah, that's the thing about Uber support. None of them are actually supportive. And that goes for as a customer, as a driver, anybody really. I've asked to speak with a supervisor. I did everything possible to escalate this. Tanya continues. No, it was like an AI or something that just kept writing the same stuff. You know, with the rise of AI, I'm not surprised people feel that way, but no, it's just people who don't really speak English from the Philippines acting as if they are people who are going to do right by you when they don't. They're reading from a script and they can't do their job otherwise. Tanya emphasizes that the restaurant was kind during the conflict and she recommends viewers forget Uber and just call and order from the restaurant directly. I don't necessarily blame you for feeling that way as a customer, but man, what an opportunist way to look at it. Like, I know it's a smart business move to try to cut out the middleman, but that feels less like you're trying to do right by the customer and more like you're trying to change the relationship between the customer and Uber Eats to the customer and you. Which makes sense, it's a logical way to do it, but damn. In a follow-up video, Tanya continues to chronicle her fight against the 3 Uber Eats agents she spoke with. Again, Tanya says she asked to speak with a supervisor, but they were just like ignoring what I'm saying. It takes so much to get Uber Eats to do their job. Like, there are times where I'm like, can I speak to a manager or a supervisor? And they just transfer me to another department. They're ridiculous. Uber support is one of the least supportive support teams out there. Not that any support team is actually supportive, but that's not the point. I even mentioned, what's the point in having a cancellation button if you don't refund people? Or at least when you click the cancellation button, says if you cancel now, you won't get a refund. Nowhere does it say this. Tanya argues. Here's the thing, Tanya. I don't disagree with your point, but the reality is that Uber has dealt with a lot of scammers on the platform. And unfortunately, this could have been one of the scams they have to deal with. Whether or not it went viral or not is a different story, but it's gotten pretty bad to where Uber's like, no, we're not allowing refunds if they're going to continue to abuse the system. You might just be in a market where it's so common it hurts. Soon, Tanya says the restaurant came to her aid when the restaurant owner called Uber Eats. Tanya says the owner also faced resistance, but after some debate, Tanya says the owner secured a refund. The Daily Dot has reached out to Tanya via Instagram direct message. So I'm glad that you ended up getting a refund, but you really shouldn't have had to fight for it. I know that you have to basically be a Karen in order to get a refund from some of these companies, but damn. Tanya's experience is one of many. Last year, one Uber Eats customer said the company overcharged them $57 and never returned the money. Uber Eats denied another customer a refund for the food she said never made it to her house. I actually made videos on both those stories. I'll leave them in the description. Feel free to check it out. Viewers in the commenters shared their own Uber Eats woes. I had this happen to me. One user wrote, was never refunded, canceled my account still shows I owe them, although canceled within a minute. Yeah, it's pretty bad that this is such a common occurrence that you could even cancel your account and they're still gonna try stealing money from you. It's pretty bad. And for those in the comments who didn't get refunds, many needed to persist relentlessly or involve credit card companies. Money is getting tight for the corrupt now, another viewer said. So they're thieving in broad daylight. I'm sorry for your family's loss. Let's be realistic for a second. Money isn't necessarily tight for the corrupt. Money's getting tight for certain corrupt companies. At the end of the day, there are a lot of industries with a lot of really corrupt people who are hitting record high profit margins and are only providing their people with a pizza party, claiming that money is so tight. They contradict themselves in a hot second. They are not worth the time and energy. And then people wonder why. Oh, why is there so much turnover rate for our employees and our customers? Because you're not good people. The narcissism of some of these companies is ridiculous, and it's gotten so bad people basically need to threaten lawsuits, go viral on TikTok just for basic service. I mean, she probably made a decent amount with the AdSense, but I don't think it justifies the behavior. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. It's pretty sad that this is what it actually takes to get decent service from Uber Eats. What she had to do was she had to fight many support agents. She had to get the restaurant involved. I don't know if she even went viral on TikTok because of this, or if she went viral and then got the refund. Like, why does it take so much? And the worst part is, if she didn't have the influence she had, it would probably get swept under the rug. How many people do you think got scammed? And because they didn't actually develop their influence or build a following, they are basically ignored. And at her grandmother's funeral, no less. Could she have just made the order and then placed the second order on top of that, and then take the one meal she forgot and make that a separate order? I mean, sure. It's still pretty messed up that that happened. I'm glad it turned out okay for this customer, but Uber Eats, you really do need to do better, because this has gotten way out of hand. I know that you got scammed a lot, and I know you're trying to combat scammers, but a lot of good people are getting caught up in your fight against those scammers. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!